Welcome to Hawksong Weaving. Today I'll be making a commissioned bag for one of my best friend's very sweet mother-in-law, enjoying some time with my partners, and talking about how I fit my weaving business into my daily life. I hope you enjoy. My name is Took. I'm a disabled genderqueer weaver who's had life take odd turns, but who knows that even tattered and worn yarn still has value, and that tired joints and health flares don't have to stop the journey. I weave exclusively with secondhand fibers, aid with adaptive warping, HR and OSHA cats, and a wonderful found family. Welcome to Hawksong Weaving, where all our paths are a little bit warped. I make these snap button bags a lot. They're some of the best sellers I have when I'm vending, but they're so versatile and can be made in different sizes. It's great. This particular type is what I call my transformer bag. I'll get to why in a bit. Because this is a fairly intensive sewing project, I won't be focusing on the weaving part too much, but if you want to watch it be woven, check out last week's cozy weaving video. I take the lining fabric and cut it, or rip it if it's a muslin or flannel, to the width that I want. I'm making a transformer bag, so I'm eyeballing the length that I want and going with the width of the woven fabric. Most of my snap button bags involve sewing two separate weaving projects, or blanks, together. But for the transformer bags, I just do the one. I make these bags in a wide variety of sizes. They're a great way to use up scrap yarn, and they turn out to be really functional zero-waste art. I lay the lining fabric face down and make a lining and woven fabric sandwich. This is a do as I say, not as I do moment. Please use clips or pins. Then, using a tight zigzag stitch, I'm going to go around the woven fabric's edges, flipping the fabric around as I need to, and cutting the long end of the lining fabric once I get there. This is not fine sewing, this is effective sewing. I do the dainty stuff in my counted cross stitch in the evenings. Before I get too far into the video, I'd like to thank you for watching. If you'd like to support my work, some free ways to do that are to like, subscribe, or follow, and share. This applies to other small artists as well. It's a great way to let the social media algorithms know that this is content worth watching. If you'd like to support me financially, there's a Buy Me a Coffee linked below, which acts as sort of a tip jar. Also, now that there are so many of you absolutely fantastic and wonderful subscribers, I've been able to link the online Hawksong Weaving shop, so feel free to check out the unique hand-woven products. This next bit is absolutely a joke, but just in case, in this economy, I won't say no. For $1,000 a month, you can tell me that I'm not actually disabled, I'm just lazy, and to try whatever yoga, juice cleanse, snake oil nonsense fix your cousin. Feel free to message me, and I'll get you my payment deets. I take Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal for this nonsense. Now that I've come around the corner, it becomes clear why I started at the point that I did. I've left an opening to flip the bag right side out. I'm going down the woven fabric, cutting, sewing, until I don't have enough left to make another transformer bag. Then, depending on the amount left, I'd either cut my losses, made an odd-sized bag, or turned the remaining weaving blank into a few scrappy scented sachet bags for me to fill with scraps and scented herbs later. Time skip, no lumps on the front now. This video filming was slightly disjointed, as you can probably tell. I did the machine sewing before the double mastectomy, and I can't find the footage of the next step, which is to turn the bags right side out. I use a hair stick for the fiddly bits of this, but you could use a chopstick or a knitting needle or a butter knife, pretty much anything long and pokey but not stabby. If your weave is loose, you can poke through it, but that's okay. I'm baking some pumpkin bread while I work on this and listening to my partners playing Mass Effect in the living room. I don't really follow a set recipe for my quick breads, I just have the ratios memorized and understand the basic chemistry reactions and keep an eye on it in the oven. So it's a good time to fit in some sewing at the kitchen table to keep an eye on the bread. I'll also work on these projects while I'm in the living room on weekdays. One of my partners is a work-from-home IT engineer, so she deals with feeling like a rat in a cage sometimes, so working in the living room can at least provide company from another rat. I reclaim the bag blank from Hades and fold the bag blank to the length that I want. This part is really up to you and what size looks best for your particular wants and needs. I'll take a pin and get the pocket of the bag held together. For this bag, I'm using leftover embroidery floss from the Counted Cross Stitch project that I worked on while I was recovering from the double mastectomy surgery. Here's a quick peek at that finished project. I don't sell these as hours and hours of work go into them. This one is part of a set that I'll eventually frame and hang up in my living room. But waste not, want not, embroidery floss is embroidery floss. I use a blanket stitch for my transformer bags because it's slightly stronger and more visually pleasing. It's not a tight blanket stitch because in order to sell these, I need to take some shortcuts in order to keep the price where people are actually going to buy them. It's an unfortunate aspect of this economy. I do blanket stitch all around the edges, tucking the knots into the woven fabric as I need to add more floss. When I'm working with longer floss pieces, it's not worth it to measure out the entire length of floss you'll need for this project all at once. Even this pre-cut length causes some snarls and tangles that have to be dealt with. Something I wasn't expecting post-double mastectomy was how much I had used that part of my body as a brace for the sewing projects, for weaving, for driving. I have hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and my joints, especially my shoulders, do not like to function and do not like to maintain uppies. So I was using that part of my body as a brace and a cushion for as long as it's been there. And I wasn't expecting to have to relearn how to sew. Thankfully, though, I've got this lovely hobbit belly, and the shelf and brace just moved a bit further down. So, waste not, want not, I guess. Yay, hobbit belly. Hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome sets so much of the traditionally held health values and health instructions on its ear. I've been actively told by my doctors to stop losing weight so quickly because turns out the fat was keeping my joints in place, not my actual muscles. I'm currently in physical therapy to start building muscles as best I can around those joints, and being on testosterone as a trans mask will help with that. But it's still just... all right, being told by doctors to stop losing weight is an interesting experience. This is one of my transformer bags, so named because the 360-degree swivel lobster clasps can transform them into belt bags, handbags, saddlebags. Pretty much the sky's the limit. I tuck the lobster clasp into the blanket stitch, keeping it nice and secure. Checking on the bread again, it's not done yet, so on to the buttons. For a flat button with holes, like this mother of pearl button, I'll start the knotted thread on the lining side of the flap, where it will be hidden underneath the outie part of the snap button. For shank buttons, not featured in this video, I'll sew the outie with snap button on first, and then cover the stitches with the shank button. There was quite a bit of thought that went into this bag. This bag is for a friend of mine's mother-in-law. She's walking the LGBTQIA+ ally walk and loves to dress and accessorize in ways that let folks in the community know that she's a safe person, hence the rainbow bag. She got out of an abusive marriage, so blue floss along the sides for freedom, and the elephant lining because elephants are matriarchal, and a mother of pearl button for more maternal care. Before I finished these, my partners came over to say hello to all of y'all, say hi to the goth cryptid IT engineer and the fencing opera singer. I'm such an incredibly lucky bloke. How's everyone doing these days? Give a shout out in the comments. In the Northern Hemisphere, we're starting to have fall seasons. One of my partners lives and breathes pumpkin spice this time of year, so lots and lots of pumpkin everywhere. But I know that it's spring starting down in the Southern Hemisphere, so yeah, just checking in. How are y'all doing? And done! Now I have a transformer bag for my friend's mother-in-law and a loaf of pumpkin bread that will be for dessert after my partners and I have dinner. I didn't video making that, but I'm deeply proud of how well poached that catfish turned out, so I'm showing it off. Thank you for coming along as I made this. I'm so glad for the odd turn that your path took that brought you here. Thank you for spending time with me at Hawksong Weaving, where we're all a bit warped, and I hope that you have a truly excellent week.